Hey, Jean-Marc. So Christos showed us the way to create those things manually. Is there a easier way or a smarter way to do this?
Oh, you mean to do the app registration? Yes, Frank. There is actually even if you want to work on the command line, you can use a tool that will do what I name code first app registration.
I like
Christos
that.
had to go to the portal. We are going to just remain in the tools we know, the command line tool. So
Excellent.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to do like Christos. So do a .NET new application. Maybe let's change a bit, have a Blazor server. I don't know if that's what you want. I'm going to do the --auth single org. So I think Christos did the same. I'm going to say that I want to call the graph, Microsoft Graph. So get a call from Microsoft Graph. And I'm tempted to immediately use the tenant ID, specify the tenant ID. So that doesn't matter if I do it now or if I do it later, but I'm tempted to do it now, and I've pasted actually no, it didn't do it. So I'm going to take it. I have a tenant ID for my kind of demo, because if I use my tenant ID, professional tenant ID, this is not as good. We don't have all the authorization
Of course.
to work inside our
So
company.
it means for the user as a developer, I need to have admin roles when I want to run that command, or at least enough permission.
Yeah, that's a good point. You need to be able to create or update applications. So I'm going to use this tenant ID, which I copied from another screen. I'm going to paste that up. Yeah. So that's the command, .NET new, Blazor server, authentication single auth means Microsoft Identity Platform. I'm going to call the graph, and I'm pre-specifying the tenant ID. So I press return. This is going to create, as you know, the application in this folder. You see the time, it's just now. I'm going to use VS Code to look at the app settings.json. And we see that, like was the case for Christos, nothing is filled in here except the tenant ID. The tenant ID is already provisioned. It's already done here. So now the next step is, how do I get a new app registration? So that will be fairly simple. So let me put that in the background. I'm going to use a command line tool named MS Identity App Sync, and to install it, it's a .NET Global tool. So you'll get a link with the video. The way to use it is just say MS Identity App Sync, and then that's it. It will see that the project is a Blazor server, so it's a kind of web app. It will find the tenant ID from the app settings.json, and you see that it has created a new application, and it has added the tenant ID, client ID, and domain in the app settings.json. And for the secret, so that's when I reopen this window, you see that they have changed. And for the user secrets, they are really in the .NET secrets. So you know, .NET Core maintains some secrets. So that's it. The app registration is done. Now I just need to do a .NET run to see my application running. This Blazor server application. So I'll be able to sign in and see my full name, because it's going to query the graph. If you want to see a bit more in detail what that does, I think I can open the controller, and we could see, so it must be temp, demo, hello world. And if I want to have a look at the pages, this show profile page, which I'm going to run, you see we are going to query the graph and get just my name, just get the user and display the user display name. So that's what we are going to do. It's building. Oh, okay, pretty long. Oh, it's running. So I'm going to just open a terminal and navigate to this URL, and that will be. I mean, the work is done already. We could say.
So fast.
Yeah, the app registration was the rest of the demo is just show that works.
Let's prove that it actually runs, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's kind of important.
So I'm going to go. I am also a guest of this tenant, so I'm going to go to this tenant. Of course, I'm subject to multiple factor authentication. So let me approve that on my phone, which I just did. So that signed me in. That's a new application, you see. So it tells me, do you want to allow this application to access your profile? I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to consent on behalf of the application. It turns out that I'm also an admin of this tenant. And this is the classical
Scaffold application.
Scaffold, exactly. And for the show profile, it's going to create a graph. You've seen this little fetching, and then that's it. So that was showing how we can do an app registration from the code first app registration. The code was there, and then you can use this app MS Identity App Sync tool, which has many options, but I will let you discover that. You can start from I could have provided the tenant ID here, for example, but I will let you discover that in the README, which is there and which is so big that I don't know if you see anything.
Well, thank you. We'll make sure to put all those links in our show notes. Thank you. And now let's go back to see the question from the chat.